amazingly, Dai Hong Fa, right? Big red flower. Hibiscus, Hibiscus, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. So rosa, of course, means something a bit like a rose, and sinensis or chinensis means of China. So you'll see that in a lot of plant names, something chinensis or something sinensis, that means it's of China. Hibiscus rosa sinensis is obviously growing for these fabulous red flowers, right, which are really superb, right? But the foliage, you can see the foliage is really grotty, right? It's got some kind of viral infection, kind of hibiscus COVID, I suppose. Most of the hibiscus in Hong Kong have this. So the leaves look horrible, the flowers look fabulous, right? So it's not planted as often as it used to be. I think partly because the foliage just looks so grotty, most of the time. But it's worth it sometimes because, the flowers are just so amazing, so fabulous. And this definitely is a shrub. Again, can grow taller than me, but it can never really make a tree, this one. Okay, let's walk along.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, if you are going to choose the plants here, what would you like to plant?
Good question. Okay, so what would I plant if I had the option to do the replanting for this area? Well, I think I'd probably I think I might keep the podocarpus because I admire their staying power. I mean, they're doing okay. They will make small canopy trees, right? So it's a great question because, if I say, well, I'll plant a Ficus microcarpa, it'll get so huge, it'll crash into the building, it'll fill up with, eventually, right? It'll break up the paving, it'll become a problem, and then they'll cut it down. I don't care that it's a problem, right? I don't have to manage it, right? But the management will eventually say this tree is too much marfan, and they'll cut it down. Especially if it fills up with 10 million birds, and then the birds poo everywhere, right? And then people are having their lunch here, it's like, ugh. And then there would be complaints and the management have to do something. So that's part of the design is actually anticipating those kind of problems. So I wouldn't put a Ficus microcarpa here. Not because I don't like Ficus microcarpa, I love it. But because I know that it will cause problems and then they'll come and chop it down. So I don't want anything that's going to crash into the buildings, right, and start scraping on the windows because immediately there'll be some problem. But I think I would like some shade here. So I would never actually start with a particular species in some cases, yes, you'd start with a particular species, right? Because if somebody says, oh, I want a cherry tree in the spring, that's it, right? I mean, you don't have much option. But I would start to think about what's the functions behind my plant choice? What do I want to achieve, right? So I want something that can give a bit of shade. I want something that's not going to crash into the buildings. I want something that, the buildings, are stupendously ugly, right? So I want to really make a canopy that's going to hide these ugly buildings, right? And there's goodness knows who chose these tiles, it's shocking. But so I want to, that would be that's my personal view, right? Somebody else might think these are fabulous buildings. I don't personally. I want to conceal the buildings. So I want to create a space down here and a canopy so that you become not aware of the buildings, right? So I know that I want trees because I want a canopy. I want them to grow not huge, right? Not so that they become a problem. So I want a kind of a medium growing tree. Then I can think, well, do I want them to be deciduous or, or evergreen. Don't really mind, to be honest. You know, I don't. But maybe some flowers would be great, right? Some floral display would be great. So maybe you may have noticed, you know, the Bauhinia variegata is flowering at the moment. The pink Bauhinia, right? Not the big purple Bauhinia, which is the species, the flower that's used for the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region symbol, right? Not that one. There's a smaller one with pink flowers. It's lovely. I mean, I like that colour. And your colour, your that kind of colour. So and that's flowering at the moment. It's beautiful, right? It's really lovely. And it doesn't grow too big. You know, it'll grow probably to the sort of second or third story at the most. I know that they don't do very well in typhoons, but that's probably okay because this is a very sheltered spot, right? So providing we get good quality trees and plant them good quality with good roots balls, then that might be quite a nice choice. Then I might think, well, do I want a variety? Do I want lots of different types, or should I just go with one type? Then we're moving into less functional aspects of the design and into more, you know, subjective design decisions. And then you know, you might do a sketch proposal, right, and then put some photographs of the particular trees and take an opinion survey. Everybody says, oh yeah, I like Bauhinia, then we'll have Bauhinia, right? I mean, you guys work here, so so there's another element, would be the public response. So in fact, the design becomes quite, even for a very simple situation here, it becomes more complicated. Okay, we must be running out of time, but let's just go around the corner first, have a look over here.